Hi, welcome to Learn English and Practice with Marie. Today we're going to do Advanced Vocabulary Builder, lesson number 132. We'll go through 10 advanced words and talk about their definitions, parts of speech, and review a couple of examples for each. We'll finish with a story so you can hear the words in context. This is a series, so if you like this video, subscribe for more. Let's get started. First, we'll read the words. Allude, geriatric, endow or endow, unjust, subordinate or subordinate, discord, substantial, avid, impart, dismay. First, allude. This means suggest or call attention to indirectly, hint at as a verb, mention without discussing at length as a verb, and there is an additional art-related meaning. So to allude to something is to hint at it without being explicit. In movies, for example, a lot of times you'll see allusions throughout. So at the beginning of a film, if you see a young girl dressed in black holding the picture of a woman, you might understand that that little girl has just lost her mother. So that scene is alluding to that fact, but is not explicit about it. Examples are, the professor began to allude to past scandals without naming anyone directly. She didn't want to say it outright, so she chose to allude to it instead. Geriatric. This means relating to old people, especially with regard to their healthcare as an adjective. An old person who is receiving special care as an adjective. So this word geriatric tends to be associated with the elderly and with some sort of healthcare or care setting. So at nursing homes, geriatric care is provided to the residents. Examples are, her grandfather sees a geriatric doctor twice a year. He volunteers at a geriatric center every weekend. Endow or endow. This means provide with a quality, ability, or asset as a verb. Give or bequeath an income or property to a person or institution as a verb. So elite schools like Harvard and Yale tend to have funding due to the fact that people have decided to endow that money to those respective universities. Examples are, her generosity helped endow the local library with new books. He was endowed with both intelligence and compassion. Unjust. This means not based on or behaving according to what is morally right and fair as an adjective. So something that is unjust is the opposite of just. It's not adhering to a normal sense of justice. It's violating justice. So in the United States, we've had a lot of controversy and political discourse surrounding the deportation of people from the United States. And one thing most reasonable people can agree on is that it's unjust to deport someone without giving them some basic decency, some human rights, and some form of due process to assess if that deportation is legal and valid. Examples are, the decision to fire her without evidence was deeply unjust. History is filled with unjust treatment of marginalized groups. Subordinate or subordinate. This means of less or secondary importance as an adjective, a person under the authority or control of another within an organization as a noun, treat or regard as of lesser importance than something else as a verb. So obviously there are two ways to pronounce this word, and with that first pronunciation, we are getting at something that is beneath something else. So someone in a corporation might be a subordinate and might report to the higher ups, whereas subordinate is a verb. So I might, for example, decide to subordinate my own needs in favor of the needs of my family. Examples are, in the military, every subordinate must follow orders without question. Their needs were always made subordinate to the mission. Discord. This means disagreement between people as a noun, lack of harmony between notes sounding together as a noun. So this word discord is the opposite of harmony. It's things not going together. Warring factions in a conflict experience discord. They have disagreement. They sometimes have violent conflict. They are not getting along. Examples are, political discord between the two parties slowed down legislation. Their marriage suffered from years of discord and resentment. Substantial. This means of considerable importance, size, or worth as an adjective. Strongly built or made as an adjective. When referring to a meal, large and filling as an adjective. Important in material or social terms, wealthy as an adjective. Concerning the essentials of something as an adjective. Real and tangible rather than imaginary as an adjective. So you can see there are a lot of different meanings associated with this word, but one thing that they all have in common is that the idea of substance is at the root of this word substantial. You can hear that those two words are quite similar. So you might use this word to describe wanting to have a real meal instead of having a snack. So you might say, I'd really like to sit down and have a substantial meal instead of snacking all day. Examples are, she received a substantial raise after her performance review. He made a substantial donation to the Wildlife Fund. Avid. This means having or showing a keen interest in or enthusiasm for something as an adjective. Having an eager desire for as an adjective. So someone who's an avid reader reads book after book and can't stop. They just keep reading. They are enthralled with the idea of reading and do it very passionately. You can be someone who is avid about pretty much anything. I'm avid about the advancement of technology. I'm really enjoying learning more about all the technologies emerging, and that's what I'm excited about. I'm an avid learner of tech. Examples are, she's an avid reader who finishes a book every week. They became avid hikers after moving to the mountains. Impart. This means make information known, communicate as a verb, bestow a quality as a verb. So to impart something is to transfer it or give it. A mentor might try to impart wisdom to their mentee. A teacher might try to impart knowledge to their student. It's this act of giving something, and typically it's something of value. Examples are, the mentor hoped to impart wisdom to his apprentices. She tried to impart confidence to her nervous daughter. Dismay. This means consternation and distress, typically that caused by something unexpected as a noun. Cause someone to feel consternation and distress as a verb. So this word dismay is associated with disappointment or frustration. I'll often say, much to my dismay, which is a somewhat long-winded way of expressing disappointment. So if I really wanted to see a concert and I went to go buy tickets only to find them sold out, I would certainly be dismayed. I would be frustrated and I would wish I had acted sooner. Examples are, to her dismay, the project was canceled at the last minute. The changes were met with public dismay and confusion. So let's read through a story so we can hear these words in context. Nina adjusted her recorder as she sat across from the dean of Crestview Medical School. He spoke carefully, choosing his words to allude to gratitude without naming the strings attached. The school had just received a substantial donation from Barrett Lang, a geriatric pharmaceutical tycoon with a history of ethical violations. Nina, an avid health policy reporter, had been following Lang's story for years and couldn't ignore the contradictions. The donation was meant to endow a new research wing, but rumors swirled that it came with restrictions, directing research to favor drugs produced by Lang's former company. Faculty members, even those subordinate to senior leadership, had started raising concerns. It feels unjust to let money dictate medical science, one researcher told her quietly. Others spoke of growing discord within departments once united around shared goals. Nina reviewed old interviews, uncovering moments when Lang had tried to impart his views into medical curricula under the guise of industry insight. As the pieces fell together, dismay set in. Nina's article revealed the truth about the donation, thus bringing the issue to light and forcing an internal investigation. So let's review these words quickly, and I'll spell as we go. Allude, A-L-L-U-D-E, means to suggest or call attention, hint at. Geriatric, G-E-R-I-A-T-R-I-C, is relating to old people and their health care, typically. Endow or endow, E-N-D-O-W, is to provide with something or to bequeath something. Unjust, U-N-J-U-S-T, is not based on what is morally right and fair. Subordinate or subordinate, S-U-B-O-R-D-I-N-A-T-E, is of lesser or secondary importance or to treat with lesser importance. Discord, D-I-S-C-O-R-D, is disagreement or lack of harmony. Substantial, S-U-B-S-T-A-N-T-I-A-L, has many meanings, but they all center around having substance or importance. Avid, A-V-I-D, is showing keen interest or enthusiasm in something or an eager desire for something. Impart, I-M-P-A-R-T, is to make information known or to communicate. Dismay, D-I-S-M-A-Y, means consternation or distress or to feel that consternation or distress. So again, those words are allude, geriatric, endow or endow, unjust, subordinate or subordinate, discord, substantial, avid, impart, dismay. Great job today. There are other videos like this on this channel, and more are coming soon. I'll put playlists and videos right here, and I'd love to hear from you in the comments below. Thanks so much for watching. See you in the next video. Bye.